Today's box card assembly video is the pumpkin patch box card. This box card is actually from the autumn box card set, and it's the pumpkin patch box card. It has a lot of pumpkin elements in here, and the graphics that I used on here are from designbundles.net, and I embossed them with like a fabric texture, and it's mostly all solid except for these two elements right here. And then the back has the button that I have always been using. Have been using on all of my patterns. Actually, there's one pattern or one thing in here. It's got like a pumpkin with a leaf, and that is the same pattern as down here. This one was fairly easy to make, and and I embossed all of the pumpkins except for this one, because this pumpkin is part of a layer or one of the inserts, so I couldn't really emboss that one. But I thought that the embossing would make it easier to ink along the edges, and it did. I did not ink these I don't know, they're cream colored. I didn't ink those pumpkins. I just embossed them. I didn't really think that they would need to be inking to show any contrast. The reason I did the inking is because this definitely needed contrast. And so that's this box card, pumpkin patch box card, and let's get started making it. These seem to be the only tools that I ever use, so these are going to be what I use for this project. I have my Zots for my button, the double stick tape, and of course I never show my scissors because it's, I'm going to be using them anyway, but I might as well put it on the screen. So this is for the envelope, and then obviously to cut this, and then my glue for obvious reasons to glue the pieces together, and then here's my tips. So I'm going to get started. Here are all my pieces. I have the boxed part, and here are the pieces that go on there. Here's the front layer, which is layer number 1, the middle layer, and then the back layer, and then this goes on the very back on this thing. So I'm going to move things around so that I'm only showing right now what I'm going to be gluing. Okay, so this is going to be the back part of the that you're going to see of the box. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue the pumpkin part on. For some reason something happened and the video stopped, and it said part of your video was saved, but I don't know what happened, so I just started over. Thank goodness I didn't glue anything on yet. And so if that happens again, when it stops, hopefully I won't lose anything, but just in case I do lose something, I'll keep you up to speed, because I have no idea what happened. That's never happened before. I don't want to put too much glue around the edges. That's why I did it like that, because when you get glue around the edges, glue seeps out like that did. So I don't want that to happen, especially on a piece that has orange on orange. It doesn't matter if it gets onto the green, but I just don't want it to get on the orange. And I did this inking a little sloppy, but the website that I get these from, the person who did their inking didn't really, the pictures don't really show that it's really perfect. So I think that making it like that actually makes it kind of a little more perfect. So these are embossed with the fabric. You can't really see it, and I mean, I can't see it on my screen, but there's those two pieces. And now I'm just going to go ahead and put the wood grain on here, and these are also embossed with the fabric. So this goes here, and then on this side is going to be one of these. And these are also embossed with fabric. I like the embossing, but I don't have a lot of folders for different things. I mean, I have a lot of folders, but I just don't see where I would use most of them. So that's going to look like that. So that piece is, I got this piece to go on here. So I'm just going to put it on directly on here. That just goes centered in here. And I'll put the button on later. And I've already folded these down so I know exactly where everything goes. I mean, which side everything goes. And I guess my video is crooked. Or maybe this stuff is just crooked, that's all. And this mat is kind of a guide for where I need to you know, be on screen or camera. I guess it would be right here, so about 2 inches up. So it's not really that much of a guide, but oops. Also, the embossing, there was one card, I think the first one, the pumpkin diorama card that I did this month. The embossing actually almost destroyed the paper, because the paper was like coming apart, and I had to emboss it, then quickly put it on before the paper fell apart in my fingers. So you have to be careful with the embossing, and it helps if it's a good quality paper, but this is all this paper I get is from Michaels. Okay, I'm gonna get the next layers. Okay, so I had to go do some things. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put this together. I said something about the camera or my phone saying that it encountered an error or whatever, and it said some of your footage is saved, but I checked and it's gone. So I mean, I was going to delete it, but that's not good if it's gone. You know, because I could have used it, but I could have. Anyway, so here's the box part. And I'm just going to go ahead and fold it because there's no reason for me to keep it open. And I think I was gone too long. My nozzle is getting clogged up. So let me clean that real quick. I have this needle that I use to clean this out. Just put it in there, take that big piece out, just twist it a little, and then clean that off. That's pretty much how I clean that. Okay, so the box is ready to receive the layers. So I'm going to put that off to the side. I'll start with layer 1. These are pretty easy, so it's not going to take that long, I don't think. All I have to do is just put these pieces on. I'm just going to glue where the pumpkins are and the bottom here. I'm not going to put any glue on these other bits because they're not going to connect. Oops, just got my finger in the glue. And it's just going to sit on the bottom. And this is a layer, so it's not going to need the chip. I mean, it's a front layer, so it's not going to need the chipboard. So I have my PDF. So the orange goes in the middle, and I can tell that it's the right side because it's inked. Oh, it still seems a little clogged up for some reason. I think there's probably just a chunk of dry glue in here, maybe. I don't know. Oh, okay. I hope that cleared it up. Yep, I guess it did. Oop. Getting messy. But this part is going to be glued in there, so it's not going to matter that I just got glue all over the bottom part of it. Okay, so that part's in there. And then I'm going to get back to my screen. This one goes on this side. And I want to make sure that I've got it in the right direction. Let me zoom in. Yeah, that seems right. And yes, it does matter sometimes because it'll look backwards if it's not right. I mean, it kind of doesn't look like it's right, but yeah, I don't think it's right. I think I put it on backwards. It's fine. Okay. That one is definitely, no, this one looks right. I can tell that it's the right way because when I peel the pieces of paper off of the Cricut mat, the edges of the paper kind of curl up. You probably can't see that. It kind of curls up, so that's how another indication that I know that it's the right side. But that side didn't have that, so I didn't know that it was the wrong side, but it's fine. Okay, that piece is done. Now the next piece is the second layer. And this piece has a graphic, and let's see, I need the PDF again. The graphic is going to go on the orange part first. If I can lift this up. And I have my stems here. I have another one over here. So this goes on here, and I can glue on the leaves and the pumpkin. I'm just going to go on here. And this is where I want to use the fine tip, but it's fine. As long as I don't squeeze too much glue out, it's fine. And the glue will go on the this gray mat anyway, so I just wiped off the gray mat. I want to make sure that the piece lines up with the orange as much as possible. And now I'm just going to put this on here, if I can even pick it up. And this is where my tweezers would come in handy, but it's fine. As long as I can get that on there. Okay, now the green piece goes on, and this other stem will go on the green part. So I gotta find where I'm going to put the glue. So I'm just gonna put the glue here and here and here, and I'll do part of that, and then actually I don't even have to worry about that, it's not gonna matter. But I will want to put it on the pumpkin part. Was I even on screen? So just line it up at the bottom and also with the right side of this. Now I can put this on here. Yeah, the first card that I glued together of this design, I accidentally put the stem on the pattern side, not realizing that the stem went on the green part. This is where having the PDF file on the screen and having the Cricut Design Space also on ready to look at comes in handy, because that'll tell me you're doing it wrong. And sometimes I just don't look, but it's fine. Fine. Fold these because I'm going to put the chipboard on now. Chipboard has really made a huge difference in the way I make these cards, because before I didn't use the chipboard, and then I went to the pharmacy because I'd given them some cards, and they had them up all year long, and the layers were there was one that is a tulip, and the layers, instead of standing straight up, they were going like this because they were too heavy at the top. So when I started making those again for the next holiday, which I think was Easter, I decided to start using chipboard, and then I discovered another card that I made, which was like a piano. The layer was curving like this, and that wasn't good. So I decided to start using the chipboard, and now instead of curving, they're straight. Okay, so this is going to go on first, and I know this is the right way because I've got ink on it. So it just goes on there. Make sure I have it on straight. Okay, now the green part goes on, and there's nothing else that goes on here. It's just a green pumpkin, I guess. It's kind of hard to pick it up because of the glue. Okay, now this is going to have the chipboard. This is the third one, so it's going to go in the back. Okay, that layer's done, so I'm going to start assembling these into the box. So I'm just going to fold these down and then glue them. And then just going to hold it like this and keep those curved until I get it in there, and then just oops, it's kind of hard to do this when I have to do it, hold it like this. There we go. As long as the piece hits the back of the card and it's level with this edge right here, it should be fine. So I'm just gonna fold it down. Oops. Yeah, that's up high enough, so okay. Just make sure it's not on crooked. Now the second one. Same thing, just put it in there and press it up against the edge. Make sure it's level and butt it up against that. This is going to come down a little. Okay, oops. Oops. This piece right here keeps, oh, maybe I should glue that piece down. I didn't realize that had the leaf right there. Okay. You just have to make sure that it folds on both directions. And now this piece goes right in the front, and then it's pretty much done. And all I have to do is put the Zot and the button on the back, and then the envelope, and then it's done. These box cards are not that complicated, and they have a lot of details, and I think that some people might think that they're really too complicated to do, but it's really not that hard or complicated in any way. This one, you have to make sure that you fold it the right way, because if you fold it like this, it's not going in the envelope. So because of these brown pieces, which I think is like a fence. So I need my Zot. And I have my button already picked out. Press down and pray nothing rips. Yay! Scares me every time. That's it. It's done. Now for the envelope. I pre-folded the envelope to make sure that it's on the right way. I'm still laughing at making a mistake with that one envelope. But everyone makes mistakes in their life. Nobody's perfect. Okay, this part, because I just put the glue on the edge, this part's going to come up. And this part probably, so I'm going to just put a little bit of glue in there. And then the tape for the flap. And there's a motorcycle coming. And we're just gonna put it up here. I'm not gonna do on the edge right here. I think that's a motorcycle. It sounds more like a car. And this is going to overlap a little. I'm just going to cut this. Just going to lift this up a little bit and cut it so it's straight. Gonna lift this up a little too, and I'm sure it doesn't really matter, but it's fine. And that's it. That's the box card. And it just goes right in here like this. And that's it. So, thank you so much for watching, and if you're still watching, let me know in the comments. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.